a good story? Yeah, it's about a campus serial killer who murders 8 students.
Urban legends. We've all heard them.
Cut!
But when a group of students decides to film them,
The movie is about a serial killer whose murders are all based on urban legends.
That's pretty cool.
illusion collides with reality. And dreams become nightmares.
Dude, that looks so real.
Not enough blood.
You don't think it was real?
OJ left more blood than that on the Bronco.
In a follow-up to the runaway hit Urban Legend comes Urban Legends Final Cut. A chilling story of film students facing a series of murders more horrifying than they could ever imagine.
Amy is a film student.
Cut.
And she turns around and decides she's going to make not only a fiction film, but a horror film about a serial killer who's murdering based on urban legends.
There's this girl. She puts her hand down, and if her dog licks her hand, she knows everything's okay.
Can I be the dog? Because I'm a great licker.
It's sort of like a film within a film, so we don't know whether it's real or fake, and the audience won't either, which is kind of neat, because it's always cool, I think, in a film where you can put the main characters at the same place as the audience.
Paranoia. Wrong man accused. How the lines blur between fantasy and reality.
You're never quite sure what is real and what isn't.
It's a tradition during finals week. At the stroke of midnight, everyone screams. But at the same time, a co-ed is brutally attacked.
You get a chance to fall in love with the characters, and then they start disappearing. Then it gets, oh my God.
And the tears that are rolling are real, and the screams are real.
Cut.
Everyone is in it with passion, and we have wonderful times in front of the camera and behind the camera, around the camera. It's a great, big horror family.
I think the element of the film within the film makes this just a little bit more, I don't know, it's certainly an edgier film than the first one.
John Ottman had such an interesting background. You know, scoring and editing Usual Suspects, he has a sense of tone and texture that he'll bring to this movie.
The film gets more tense as it goes along.
Who's there?
Maybe we're going to scare you or make you realize this film actually is going to go somewhere where you might be pretty horrified.
There's a lot to be freaking out about. As time goes on, she starts to really see some crazy stuff and knows that it's not a game anymore.
Whoever's doing this is gonna come after you again.
You ever hear the urban legend about the guy who picks up the dead hitchhiker?
Urban Legends Final Cut.
It's just an urban legend.
That's action, guys! Get it, bro?
Action.
Bonjour.
Fucking action.
Trevor, I can't.
Okay, get ready, let's go.
Hey, young lady, come here. Come here.
Sorry.
She's flying the plane. I'm Sharm Yakubisco. No. I'm Shorm Yabusko.
So check it out. I got my nipples pierced this weekend.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I want to stress that there are no cue cards here for me to read.
Excuse me. That chili I had earlier.
Yeah, well, he certainly whines like a director. And a dick.
Oh, damn. I gotta go.
Okay, everybody back to one. Let's keep it thinking. I want everyone to keep thinking positive, and we'll try it again.
Sound speed.
Yeah, that worked, didn't it?
Okay, that didn't quite work.
Are you on crack? Oh,
I got an audition to play a coma patient on ER.
That totally sucked. Doesn't make sense, does it? Which one's Jupiter? The big one.
Jesus Christ. Go walk.
Oh, leave. That's what back means.
We need somebody over here at the film department.
Action.
So I think I finally have an idea for my thesis film.
No way.
What the fuck?
Oh, her titty coming off.
And the tradition during finals week, everybody's up late. They're studying and they scream as a release of tension, right?
Was that a joke?
Cool.
And you know, I found if you get 2 raw chickens and put your hands up their ass and clap them together, you can get that sound.
Hey, you want me to give you a lift? Or something like that? Can I try that again?
Hey, dollface.
Can I get you a ride?
How about a lift? You know, if
Fucking bullshit. You stole my genre. Sorry.
Why is it that white people always run into a locked, dark building when they're being chased by somebody?
if they didn't, we wouldn't have jobs.
Come on!
Are we still rolling?
I hope.
You really think you have a shot at the Hitchcock?
Why not?
Well, for starters, I saw your documentary, Zoo Prisoners.
Yeah, not to mention Zoo Prisoners 2.
I could make a fiction film.
Definitely.
Yeah, right. I got 2 words to describe your career, Mayfield. Nature Channel. Hey, whoa. Back off, sister.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Cut it out.
Sandra, we missed you in class today. I got my new headshots today. Cool.
Hey, Sandra, are you gonna audition for my thesis film? Because you know you're welcome on my casting couch anytime.
No thanks, Graham. I don't do sons of movie moguls. But tell Daddy I said hi. Graham's couch has strictly small change in the cushions.
Hey, Dad! Hold up!
Well, check it out. I think this one really brings out my sophisticated side.
Definitely you.
I know, and that's what we can really exploit in your thesis film. Me.
What film? I don't even have an idea. At least your film's finished.
Yeah. I waste 3 years in film school just to find out I really belong in front of the camera. Oh, well. Had some awesome parties.
Definitely.
Hey, that's it. We shoot a fun-filled week in the life of a sexy blonde college babe. Kind of like the real world, but real.
Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do another documentary.
Oh my God, really?
Aim, that is cool. Travis, he must have just finished his film this weekend.
Looks like he needs a nice, hot shower. At your place. Oops. Now, where did I drop that suit?
All right, I'm out. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, come on, Aim. Just go talk to him. Just tell him you want it.
He's really good, you know? I mean, his work is incredible.
Not to mention his ass. Come on. I'll buy you a frozen latte.
I gotta go. Got my film to worry about.
I'll see you tonight.
Bye.
Oh, don't just stand there. Don't bend them. Ew. Don't drool on them either. Super freak.
Scratch.
Hey, I'm taking off.
Don't you have a date tonight?
One or two. Toodles.
Bye.
You know, you're a very beautiful woman.
still wrong about everything.
Why?
Dirk and Stan were sophomores. They weren't even up for the Hitchcock Award.
So why kill him?
I went in the tunnel to do a test. And I saw Dirk and Stan dead. And the killer was there. And I was so scared. But he let me go. The killer let me go again.
What are you saying?
Trevor, he's placed me in every single murder.
Hey.
I didn't think you were coming.
Yeah, well, I knew you'd think that.
You really think you have a shot at the Hitchcock?
These deleted scenes, of course, are taken straight off of the editing console, the Avid, so the image quality is pretty bad. This is not the way they would have looked in the film, but these were, of course, never made it to the final cut, and therefore their image quality is not that great. But this was a really fun sequence to put in because it got you to know the characters early in the film, and everyone was defined, and their backstories basically defined for the audience. But again, unfortunately, all these took place in the opening act of the film, and by the time anyone died, it was literally 25 minutes into the film after we got to the university.
But tell Daddy.
That was shot like, 3 months later, this insert, from the stairs that were in Peterborough. So those two inserts were in Toronto, and then here we're back in Peterborough again. It's really funny. That was the previous shot was a big crane shot with a lot of extras we were really proud of too, and it gave a lot of production value to the movie. But you have to make these decisions in the editing room to what's the greater good, and so
I don't even have an idea.
I cut it out.
At least your film's finished.
This scene I'm glad we actually cut out. It's a little borders on Saved by the Bell. It's a little too
Oh well.
it's just a little too frivolous in terms of defining the characters, although it is fun in one way, especially after you've got to know a character in the film you've seen, and then to see a new scene like this and you get to know it with more insight. It's kind of like reading the book after you've seen the movie.
Actually, I don't think I'm going to do another documentary.
Oh my God, really?
Aim, that is cool.
But it really did set up who Travis was, and
This weekend.
Looks like he
basically the fact that Amy just doesn't make fiction films.
At your place. Oops. No, where did I drop that suit?
All right, I'm out. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, come on, Amy. Just go talk to him. Just tell him you want it.
He's really good, you know? I mean, his work is incredible.
Not to mention his ass. Come on. I'll buy you a frozen latte.
I gotta go.
She's gonna buy her a frozen latte even though it's dead of winter. That was kind of a mistake on our part. It should be a hot latte. There was this sort of hate relationship that was between, a love-hate relationship between her and P.A. Kevin, Sandra and P.A. Kevin, that was kind of funny in a way, but it's just too many things to shove into the movie. It was pretty funny. This was a montage we did just to show Amy's stymied for an idea. This was placed in the film before she met Reese and got the idea. And so Jennifer just did all sorts of things with her pencil and stuff, which was fun. And then this was a sequence where you really got to know her. This is the scene where she's very happy after meeting Reese, and she has an idea for her movie, and she's on a high here, but then she sort of has a guilty moment because, and you're not sure why, but she looks at this photo of her young self with her father, and again, I've said this before, I liked this sequence because it got you to know her for a moment and really warm up to her. Obviously, the music used here was not intended for the scene. I put it in here for the sake of the DVD because all these scenes never made it into the movie. They were not scored, so I took music from the score as to somewhat how they would have been scored had I scored them. Then she went to the post-production building. This was after Amy's shoot in the bathroom, and this was what was to come after, sort of the night loading dock area outside the soundstage. And again, another run-in of Sandra and P.A. Kevin. So, I don't know, it's just a very subtle thing that really wasn't worth keeping in the film. And this was just to explain, you know, Sandra's leaving now, they're all packing up, but you know, we totally implied that by cutting all of this out and just having an empty parking lot. Jesus. And this is where I came into the scene where we originally saw Simon and Vanessa talking.
You know, you're a very beautiful woman.
This is a sequence after Amy gets chased through the forest and finally brings Reese to the scoring stage and shows her the smashed glass window. After that sequence is where this came in, where Amy was hearing sort of the voices in her head, and maybe she's just been overly paranoid, and that's what the scene was all about. And you know, again, it's a good sequence. But it's just by having one extra beat early on in your movie, it can make the film feel too slow. And I didn't really want to shoot the scene because I didn't feel it would ever make it into the film because the drive of the story would be interrupted. But it was a request, and I did it because again, I did agree that it would be nice to create another scary moment. So we economized and did this like one camera situation because we had no time to shoot it since it was not on our schedule to shoot. Was sort of phoned in, requested to do from the studio. So I did this sort of a handheld thing, and she completely pulled this off because there's no editing really that occurs here. And we had the luck of, I didn't know how to create the scare. It was not scripted, so I thought, well, what if we put a bunch of stuff in the closet and have it rigged where it falls out? I had done this in a student film at USC actually, and thank God the first take, it came out great. And it was pretty scary. We had this in one test, I think, and people jumped. And then when she realized that the voice she'd heard in the shower to draw her out of the bathroom all along was just this girl fooling around with her boyfriend. And of course, this was not before we had any looping done with actors and so forth, so there would have been more voices going on in the final cut.
I'm still wrong about everything.
Why?
Dirk and Stan were sophomores. They weren't even up for the Hitchcock Award.
So why kill him?
I don't know. I went in the tunnel to do a test. And I saw Dirk and Stan dead. And the killer was there. And I was so scared. But he let me go. The killer let me go again.
What are you saying?
Trevor, he's placed me in every single murder.
This was a scene to wrap up the relationship between Amy and Trevor, which I really liked the scene a lot, and I I knew when I shot it, it would probably never make it into the film, but I really wanted to have it just in case. So that if we had a test screening, everyone said, you know what, I don't know what happened to these two in terms of the relationship, I would have it to cut into the movie. But we had so many false endings that it was just too many things to put in the movie, and even though it's very short. But, you know, it's this kind of scene that's really nice to do. It breaks away from the genre a little bit. And we found this really nice area to shoot at outside this park. But it's on the cutting room floor. From that scene originally, then it goes into the auditorium sequence. That's what the idea originally was.